Hello! I want to welcome you to my messy kitchen. I don't usually film in here, but I was sitting here watching bread raise actually, and I inked up my Edison Beaumont, and it occurred to me I should film a review on this. So here it is. So the Edison Beaumont is the smaller version of the Edison line. Here it is. I bought the one that's bedrock or something like that, something Flintstone-y. But anyway, it's a screw cap. You can see the nib here is a two-tone nib. I usually don't film on my iPad, so this is new to me. Two-tone nib. I like this finish. I have to admit, if I ever were to buy a more expensive Edison, I might buy this finish. There's a couple I like. This is one of them. So for size comparison, this is my Noodler's Conrad. You can see the Conrad has a little bit better than a 1/4 inch on it capped. Posted. They're actually about the same. Whoops, turned it the wrong way, but you can see it. They're actually about, sorry, there's a mosquito that's attacking me and keeps trying to bite my face. Now I missed him. Darn. Okay, well, he'll bite me again. So when I yelp, you'll know why. Alright, but anyway, about the same posted. Unposted, which is how I usually write. Again, the Conrad has about a 1/4 inch on the Beaumont. That's enough about the Conrad. Let's talk about the Beaumont. One of the things I like is this grip here. It's concave and it's comfortable to hold. Now the pen looks kind of silly with this ridiculous large nib, but you know, I like it. And once I post it, sorry, you can't see me posting it. Once I post it, actually the nib doesn't look too bad. It's just when it's unposted the way I usually write, the nib just looks like ridiculously large. So that's an artistic decision that Brian Gray made. This is the regular production line. This is not a custom Beaumont at all. I just have the cartridge. Oh, actually, that's not a cartridge, that's a converter. I just have the converter in it. It is sold with a nifty, I don't remember what he calls it, pump filler, I think. On his pump filler, you can unscrew this part. It's a blind cap. And inside is a little push button and a little rubber valve down here, and you can fill it up with ink. You can visit Brian Gray's website to find out how. I don't have that pen, so I'm not going to review it. I'm reviewing the production line Beaumont. Now, what do I like? What don't I like? Well, I like the screw cap. I like the grip. I did find that this pen dries out very quickly compared to some of the other pens I've owned. That was a little bit of a disappointment, but that's a function of the cap. It doesn't have, there's a liner in some caps, like I've seen it in some of the Noodlers and the Monteverdes and a couple of the others. This doesn't have it. It doesn't have that special thing that the Platinum has. It's just it's a cap, screw cap. I do like the finish, I think I said that. I like the gold hardware. I like the two-tone nib. I actually like the black blind cap, even though in this pen it doesn't do anything. It really makes me hunger for the more expensive version that has a fancier filling mechanism. I am not usually a fan of cartridge converters, and this case is no exception. I still don't like it. This, I paid $125. If I were to buy one of those with the custom filling mechanism, I'm looking more at $350. Is that worth the premium? That's up to you. I can't comment because I've never tried it. I'll tell you my own personal opinion. I am a huge fan of Noodler's ink. Love Noodler's ink. Brian Gray himself has said that his custom ones, because they have the latex sacks in them, the latex diaphragms, don't work with Noodler's ink. Now, I've never heard why Noodler's ink doesn't work with latex. I'm not sure if that's a myth or not, but that's something that Brian Gray, the manufacturer, has said. And to me, that's a deal breaker because I love Noodler's ink. So, I will stick with the cheaper version of the Edison. Now, if you're not a Noodler's fan, go for the custom one because there are 2 filling mechanisms in the custom Edison that I would love, love, love to try. And I'd love to see why you review them and let me know. Okay, so let's do a writing sample of this critter. Did I mention that I'm a Noodler's fan? Well, I used Noodler's Qingxi Huang. I may have the pronunciation wrong. I'm trying to learn Chinese, but without the tone marks and everything, I don't know exactly how to pronounce this one. But anyway, it's a really bright red, and it usually doesn't work well in pens that I own, but it works very well in the in the Edison Beaumont. And I'll tell you why. The Edison pens tend to run a bit dry. This is no exception. This ink tends to feather. Well, with the Edison pen, which I've never tried it in an Edison pen before, it didn't feather at all. I'm very impressed. You don't forgive the writing here. I'm not really knowing how to write in Chinese. That's not the part of Chinese I focused on so far. This is not a flex nib. This is the stainless steel nib. If you have the money, go ahead and try. Getting the gold nib, I don't know if that one flexes more or not. A little bit of flex, a little bit of feedback, but it's not a flex nib. Overall, I'll admit that this pen was a tiny bit of a disappointment. Very dry writing. Did not work with a lot of my favorite inks. It just didn't show their best characteristics. What I have discovered is that this ink works a lot better if I put some of my really wet inks that don't work in other pens into it. If I do that, I am very happy with it. So Edison, just as it's not a criticism, it's just a fact of life, Edison tends to be a dry writing pen. We're getting kind of editorial and personal here, but I've posted on a couple of the fountain pen forums that I think Edison pens are dry. And I've actually had some personal communication with Brian Gray. Now, I've never had any contact with anybody from any other fountain pen manufacturer except for that pen that I won from Noodler's. Now, there is a fine line between paying attention to what people are saying about your pen and getting defensive. Once in a while, Brian Gray crosses it, but for the most part, I think he's been very professional. And I actually had my last interaction with him, because I don't think he keeps track of how many times he's interacted with me. My last interaction with him was very positive, and he admitted that he agreed with me on a couple of things about, accepting the brand as it is rather than wishing it was behaved like a different brand. So thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. I know this went on way too long, but that should tell you how much I like the Edison brand. So we'll see you later. Thank you.